This was huge, absolutely massive. So the Justice Department disrupted a vast Chinese hacking operation that affected consumer devices. So this is what happened: a botnet, a network of bots, basically from a Chinese company, infected stuff around the world, over 1 million devices around the world, but activated like a couple 100,000, and then a couple 100,000 devices in America.
Yeah.
And it was everything from routers to
IP cameras
to all that kind of stuff, right?
Sure.
And what they did, they were using them and activating and hacking Americans' devices and people around the world to perform horrible things. And the crazy thing about this is this company that was doing it is a publicly traded company on the Shanghai Stock Exchange.
Yes.
Doing criminal activities, probably on behalf of state actors and really
the Chinese
bad
government
people
for sure.
in China, right? Absolutely insane. So I just wanted to look at this. I have the press statement. I highly recommend you guys go down to the description and click the Justice Department press release and also the affidavits there. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel.
Well, I mean, it's a big win for America's cybersecurity, for one, because they shut the botnet down.
Yes, and this is the second time now that they've actually stopped a Chinese botnet. Probably one of the biggest ones that they've ever seen, right? Says the Justice Department is zeroing in on Chinese government-backed hacking groups that target the devices of innocent Americans and pose a serious threat to our national security, said Attorney General Merrick B. Garland. As we did earlier this year, the Justice Department has again destroyed a botnet used by PRC-backed hackers to infiltrate consumer devices here in the United States and around the world. We'll continue to aggressively counter the threat that China's state-sponsored hacking groups pose to the American people. Our takedown of the state-sponsored botnet reflects the department's all-tools approach to disrupting cyber criminals. The network, managed by a PRC government contractor, hijacked hundreds of thousands of private routers, cameras, and other consumer devices to create a malicious system for the PRC, People's Republic of China, to exploit, said Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco. Today should serve as a warning to cyber criminals preying on Americans. If you continue to come for us, we will come for you.
Yes, it's good. Now, I just wanted to give a little PSA for everyone out there. You can, most of the time, avoid any kind of hacking on your devices if you keep them up to date. I know it sounds silly, but if you've got a router/router, if it's an old, ancient one, you should replace it, first of all.
Sure.
If you've got an old TP-Link from circa 2010 or something, it's time to, get rid of that. Buy yourself something new.
Sure.
I mean, it's going to improve your network performance anyway. But keep the firmware up to date on those things. Make sure they're updating. Make sure you're getting the latest firmware on all your devices. And if you've got weird, cheap, rubbish stuff that you bought a couple of years ago, like say you bought like one of those IP cameras that you can connect to over the internet, but it's like a random Chinese brand and it's old, stop using it. Get yourself something new. Upgrade to a Ring camera or to something more trusted.
Yeah.
Now,
this botnet was being used to hack big target.
Yeah,
people,
obviously.
Right?
But they're using
universities, but they're using your stuff.
Yes.
Which is absolutely intrusive and illegal. Right?
Yeah.
It's a criminal thing. I like this quote. For the second time this year, we have disrupted a botnet used by PRC proxies to conceal their efforts to hack into networks in the U.S. and around the world to steal information and hold our infrastructure at risk. Our message to these hackers is clear. If you build it, we will bust it. And remember, this stuff was, in the past at least, in the first attempt, was targeting U.S. American infrastructure.
Yes.
Things like water and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I did
Power
a whole video.
grids, that kind of thing.
It's nasty stuff. This is actually a huge deal. The disruption of this worldwide botnet is part of the FBI's commitment to using technical operations to help protect victims, expose publicly the scope of these criminal hacking campaigns, and to use the adversaries' tools against them to remove malicious infrastructure from the virtual battlefield, said FBI Deputy Director Paul Abate. It says the targeted hacking of hundreds of thousands of innocent victims in the United States and around the world shows the breadth and aggressiveness of the People's Republic of China state-sponsored hackers.
Yeah.
I think this is a really mask-off moment for China. They keep saying their foreign ministry, and they'll go out there.
They're like, oh, it's unrelated. It's just like a hacking group or something.
Yes, but it's by design.
Oh,
right?
of course.
We need to hire the Chinese government says we need to hire these companies that are publicly traded to do all the bad things that we don't want our name attached to.
Yes.
Now their name's attached.
Yeah.
The court-authorized operation disrupted a sophisticated botnet designed to steal sensitive information and launch disruptive cyber attacks. We'll continue to work with our partners inside and outside the government using every tool at our disposal to defend and maintain global cyber security. You were saying something about You were reading an article where these pictures came from. What were you talking about earlier?
Just basically, they had a list of some of the devices and the brands that were affected because it was only luckily not a huge swath of devices were open. Obviously, the use of this botnet is very malicious and all that. But, like I said, if you've got old Internet of Things devices, which just means anything like a little smart speaker or a light or anything that just kind of uses the internet to work, just make sure you keep them up to date. It's super important because you can actually help thwart. You could do your part.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now, I mean, China's hackers are good enough to be able to hack even very modern technology, but
Yes.
what you're saying is that you can mitigate this threat.
Absolutely, you can, just by being smart about what you have in your house
Sure.
connected to the internet. But the most important thing, of course, the baseline is your router or your router, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure that yours is up to date. And just make that best practice, just have that practice of keeping things up
Sure.
to date. When your phone has a security update, update
Yes.
it. When your computer has a security update, update it. Don't put it off. That
Gotcha.
kind of thing.
I just want to finish off a couple of these
Sure.
quotes. All the articles are below. It's very interesting. The FBI's investigation revealed that a publicly traded China-based company is openly selling its customers the ability to hack into and control thousands of consumer devices worldwide. So it's something you can purchase.
Yeah,
a
of
service.
course.
This operation sends a clear message to the People's Republic of China that the United States will not tolerate this shameless criminal conduct, said Special Agent in Charge Stacy Moy of the FBI San Diego Field Office. Can you show the part of the affidavit?
Oh, you put it up here?
Yeah, just a couple of little pieces.
Sure.
It says the FBI has identified and reviewed data from multiple upstream management servers. Upon review of this data, one of those servers the FBI found is hosted by a MySQL database, which stored information used to manage the botnet. So this was being stored and managed by MySQL, right?
Yeah, by MySQL server, yeah.
The MySQL database contained a table with information about each of the infected victims' devices. So it would have like this router from this person, right?
Sure.
As well as the C2 server communicating with each infected device. The database contained records of over 1.2 million devices worldwide. So this was a massive company that was doing this. That had one time been infected with the variant, including over 385,000 unique US-based victim devices. However, as of the June 5th, 2024 review, the data indicated that only approximately 260,000 devices, including approximately 126,000 US-based devices, were actively infected. So being used, right?
Yeah, there's another thing you can do, which is a bit of a pain, but if you wanted to maybe get a way to do it, maybe one of those like timer plugs or something. If you restart your router/router once a day, I mean, this is if you want to be extra careful, it can definitely help because sometimes these exploits run in memory only. And then if you restart, it flushes the memory and then the exploit doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So if it gets infected, you can clear it out just by restarting it.
But there's just one more thing here.
Okay, there's one more thing. All right.
I just wanted to show that it was proven to have come from China.
Okay.
You can read through this whole thing. Again, it's very interesting. Go down below. All the links everything we cover is always down below.
Yeah.
The FBI observed that the C2 servers and the upstream management servers described in paragraph 13 were accessed on multiple occasions from a certain IP address registered to China Unicom Beijing Province Network, including by using TCP port 34125, showing that the user of this Chinese IP address was interacting and controlling this botnet. Now, this actually this operation is called from China was called Flax Typhoon, like flax seeds.
Yeah.
And the company that was actually doing it, I believe it had an absolutely hilarious name that I wrote down.
Oh yeah.
It's like an ironic name.
Okay.
It was called like.
Sorry, with a T.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
According to the court documents, the botnet was developed and controlled by guess. Just take a wild guess.
I can't.
What's the opposite of what this?
Secure?
Okay. Integrity Technology Group.
Oh, Integrity Technology. Yes.
Integrity Technology Group, a publicly traded company headquartered in Beijing.
Yeah.
Nothing says integrity like criminal botnets that control.
I love how it's publicly
innocent
traded so that like the taxpayers can pay for their own country to be hacked.
Well, they can invest in it.
Yeah, you can invest. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's publicly traded in the Shanghai stock.
Oh, in
market.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because usually they try to publicly trade in the West too.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know it was traded in Shanghai on the stock exchange.
What's going on with this old dude?
So China just raised the retirement age, which people are obviously really pissed off about.
Sure.
China doesn't really have any social safety nets for anything.
No.
It's not a socialist country.
Makes sense with their
It's an
aging
authoritarian
population. They'd have to like raise it.
Yes.
What is it now?
I believe it went up to from like 60 or 61 to 63 or something. It was like a couple years for each gender. So people are furious because people don't want to retire.
Well, imagine you're like, oh, just another month until my retirement. And then Beijing says no. You're like, no.
I just wanted to read a couple of these.
Okay, sure.
A couple of these comments from internet users. Says, there are two types of people who need not worry about the delayed retirement. Those who do not live to retirement age and the unemployed.
Yeah, true.
Because the unemployment rate in China is massive. Another one.
Yeah.
The user on the video sharing platform Bilibili expressed concern over the long-term implications of the reforms for younger people. The post-90s generation is practically certain to retire at 65 years old. Because it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah,
right?
well, absolutely.
The demographic collapse in China is meaning that people are... It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. Uncle Shark's not happy about that.
Uncle Shark was just about to retire.
Yeah, I know. That's why he's so pissed off.
He's furious.
Yeah, he is. Oh well. What do we got here?
Take a while. Stop.
Yeah.
I want the audience to take a wild guess at what they're building there.
Well, it's obviously a stadium.
Yes. It's a stadium, but for what? Something that I think if you didn't see the news, you would never guess.
It's for a concert.
It's for a concert. Do you know what they're calling this concert?
What?
You know what they're calling this concert?
No. What are they calling it?
What do you think would be a good name for a concert?
Music concert.
Something musical, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be called the Vultures Listening Experience.
Vultures Listening
Yes. Reminds me of AVP.
It does, actually.
America Back Party, America Back.
Vultures Listening Experience.
Oh, yeah, I see that up there.
Yeah. Do you know who's going to headline this concert?
Kanye West?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be Kanye East. He's going east. Now, why is this so crazy? Well, Kanye West does not have the most safe for work lyrics, right?
Yeah, I think he's gone a bit off the deep end.
Yes, he's gone off the deep end. But most importantly, that kind of music with those lyrics are not allowed in China.
Yes.
They've in fact banned Maroon 5 and Bon Jovi. They've denied them from playing who don't have offensive lyrics, right?
Yeah.
But now they're so desperate for tourism dollars that they're like, let's open up Vulture's Listening Experience, build a stadium in Hainan in the south, and then let Kanye West headline.
I saw him perform in China. I saw clips of it, yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. It's weird, yeah. It's one of the last people I think they would allow to perform,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Kanye East, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was a curio.
That is an interesting career.
This is just a quick thing. U.S. Navy is preparing for possible war by 2027 with China in focus. So there's this whole pushback by China that keeps saying, we're not getting ready to invade Taiwan. We're not doing this. We're not getting military ready by 2027 or 2035. They keep like pushing this away. But all we see is nuclear arsenal going up.
Yeah.
The Navy being...
Missiles pointing at Taiwan.
Missiles pointed at Taiwan.
Yeah.
The Navy being absolutely exploding in size.
Sure.
Right? The Army exploding in size. You're doing everything like what makes it look like you're leading up to a war.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure, if you're on the other side of things, that you're ready.
You know what I really hate?
What?
It's like traditional culture. I'm serious.
I don't give an absolute shit about Marvel and DC.
I hate people that can't walk straight.
I hate the judges on America's Got Talent.
Street performers piss me off. I'm not the CCP. I
You're
just
the
don't like
CCP.
traditional music.
I have an irrational hatred for airbrush art.
I hate white dudes playing PVC pipe didgeridoos. And there's like a dude who thinks he's cool with this freaking PVC pipe. It sounds kind of crappy. You look like a tool. You're carrying around plumbing equipment, okay?
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind